Hey everyone, Token Dave over here. Dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. You know, sometimes you watch a movie and upon first viewing, you really enjoy it, but then after some time, the enjoyment value declines. Other cases, you'll watch a movie and you'll think is meh, but then over time, your enjoyment value actually appreciates. This is a case where it comes to Thor, the next MCU franchise review that I'm about to do. So, Thor Odin's son is the god of thunder and next in line to take his father Odin's place as the king of Asgard, the capital planet of an interdimensional realm that consists of 9 planets that are home to gods of Norse mythology. On the day that he is to be crowned king, his ceremony is interrupted by a group of frost giants from a neighboring planet called Jotunheim break in and interrupt his ceremony. Furious upon this view of disrespect, Thor goes to Jotunheim and picks a fight with their king, inadvertently provoking a war between the Asgardians and the frost giants. Seeing Odin's son's narcissistic arrogance and greed and lust for power, Odin banishes Thor to Earth without any of his powers in hopes that the god of thunder will learn humility by living among the human race. So, of all the superheroes introduced in Phase 1, Thor is the one that I know the least about. I've read comics here and there, mainly about Beta Ray Bill, but that's a topic for another time. In any case, basically what I'm saying is you're not going to get an AA of Thor, primarily because, I don't know too much of his comic book mythos. With that said, I will during this review, basically talk about some things that I did see and some things that I didn't see. So, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie at first. I mean, I felt that at the time it was much better than both Iron Man 2 and Incredible Hulk, but I really felt that there were a lot of problems with this movie at first. Mainly, with the pacing. You see, I felt that there were things missing and this went way too fast and didn't take enough time to properly develop the characters. But, after watching for a couple of years, this is not the case because the pacing is actually really good. And you know what? You weren't supposed to get too invested or get everyone deeply developed. The people that needed to be developed were basically the pushing forces of the movie. For example, Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Thor starts off like, your quintessential spoiled brat who is self-entitled, born into royalty, and having this oh, my shit don't stink, I'm the god of thunder, I'm this and that and everything. I know it all youth. And with his basically, selfish actions, not realizing his selfish actions actually hurt, some of his friends and could potentially hurt the other citizens of Asgard, Thor has to go through a developmental learning process, which he does so fairly well. And Chris Hemsworth does a great job with this. Natalie Portman in the movie is basically, playing Jane Foster, whom is actually more of the human side of this. And, the two actually are so similar that they grow and learn from each other. And not for anything, Natalie Portman is cute and everything. So, despite they have great chemistry together, I really didn't like the meet cute. Yeah, the meet cute and everything. For those that don't know, meet cute is, oh, I meet you, you're cute, I fall in love with you. Very shallow with romances, But with all that said, we have other actors that are in this movie. We got Renee Russo, who's someone that like I always enjoy in movies, and I'm glad that she came back because I miss seeing Renee Russo in movies. Idris Elba as Heimdall, controversial pick at the time, and as well as the Warriors 3, basically, they do an awesome job as well as Lady Sif, and we got Anthony Hopkins in this movie. Come on, Anthony Hopkins is just freaking amazing, regardless of anything. But the show stealer is Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston. MCU gets a lot of flack for villains. This is the first awesome villain. For a while, I was saying the reason why Loki is everyone's favorite villain is because you got him in more movies and you got to see him more. But upon rewatching, I really didn't grasp how awesome he was in the first movie. He actually has the best development, and great motivations. You saw that he felt that basically Thor was really not ready to be king and was willing to backstab Thor just so that he could try to learn some humility, but then finding out a secret that Odin held from him gave him a much more of a complex. To top it off, he was on the outs compared to everybody else with the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif. So basically, with all that discovery, you got a huge range of emotion from one that didn't want power, to just want to be seen as an equal, to one that felt like, what, all this was put upon me unjustly. Shoot, I am going to get this power, willy or nilly, and in my opinion, a great improvement from his comic book counterpart, because Loki is a god of mischief, and all he is just some guy causing problems and is a big annoyance. Here, you empathize with him and you understand his villainous turn, and this is actually like an awesome example of the villain's journey. Speaking about comic book counterparts and improvements, that was basically the only improvement from the comics. That and Idris Elba's Heimdall, because he got Heimdall. Cool. But things from the comics that are kind of, not improvements or things that were missing were, while we got a reference of Thor's alter ego, Donald Blake, I wish he could have been Donald Blake and all. That would have been awesome. But it was nice that they had that Jane Foster and Donald Blake were romantically involved in their exes. But, the reason why Thor fell in love with Jane Foster, whom is originally known as Jane Nelson, actually, but they changed her name to Jane Foster, she was basically a nurse that was very caring and went above and beyond. And this impressed Thor, Here, they made their romance very shallow, like I said, with the meet cute, Another thing, why did Thor use any of his catchphrases? Like, by Odin's beard, have at thee, for Asgard or for Midgard. I wanted Thor to say this more, and he didn't, which was a disappointment. Another disappointment is, you got the awesome Destroyer, one who is made to fight a lot of the Celestials, and the Destroyer gets beaten so easily. The hell? By the way, the Odin sleep just came randomly out of nowhere, and this is something that needed to be explained, but they didn't explain it. Heck, I could explain it. Basically, once a year, Odin needs to go into the Odin sleep to recharge his power and all, so that basically he can continue to protect Asgard, because if he's too weakened, Asgard is in danger. Simple, But those comic book nitpicks out of the way, all I can say is basically the actors were awesome, the action was cool, the pacing was great, the special effects still hold up to this day, All that said, everybody, Thor is actually slamming. It's one of my, I don't know if it's in my top 10 as we speak, but if it's not in my top 10 at this point, it's close to getting there. And, this is one of those movies that I really recommend anyone who didn't like it at first, watch it again, and you'll be surprised of how well it holds up. Agree? Disagree? drop me a comment below, give me a like, follow me on Facebook at Token Dave, or on Twitter at Token Dave 80, subscribe, ring that bell so you know when a new video loads, and spread this video out. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by, and I'll catch all of you later.